Today, we begin this year initiative with this online gathering as part of the International Day of Prayer Against Human Trafficking. Interpretations, as we said, is available in 5 languages: English, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish. Early today, we participated in the general audience with Pope Francis, and throughout this week, we will continue raising awareness through different activities, both online and in the streets of Rome. For more information about all the events, please visit the official webpage or our Instagram account, Preghiera contro Trata. The theme of this meeting focuses on youth-led initiatives against human trafficking, and our aim is to listen, learn from one another, and be inspired to take action in our communities. I now have the honor of welcoming Sister Abby Avellino, Talitha Kum International Coordinator, who will offer her welcoming remarks. After Sister Abby's intervention, we will be led in prayer through the video from the youth group of Wells of Hope in Jordan to open our online session. Sister Abby.
Thank you so much, Nana, for that introduction. And of course, we were together with the public audience with Pope Leo, and it is a really an honor to be with young people like you. So it's really, I feel young at this point. So, but anyway, I'd like to welcome everybody, welcome, especially our partners, organization is also present. This initiative online that our young people really had planned, of course this is very important at this point that initial or the International Day of Prayer and Awareness Against Human Trafficking, we are here together. It's really a joy to welcome you all to be uh, you together at this important moment. I'm seeing many people, young people here, our partners as well, the directors, and especially all those people that we collaborate with. And of course, our coordinators are here also to support the initiative of young people here today. And this is Give Us Hope. So today is also reminds us that we're not alone. It is our commitment together that we can build a world where person is safe, respected, and free from exploitation. I think this is the objective for this initiative that we can share together what we have already experience from our experience in the field at the grassroots level. So again, from us as a Talitha Kum, network prevention is a heart of our uh, work at what we do. So we believe prevention must begin early before exploitation happens. And we cannot do this alone. We really need to collaborate with each other, and we do believe the help or the support of our young people, especially on the field. So one of the strongest prevention efforts of Talitha Kum Network is the youth ambassadors. We call it youth ambassadors against human trafficking or young leaders. These young leaders bring energy, creativity, and strong digital skills. They really know, they understand the challenge faces by their generation and open that's the first to notice these dangers through online recruitment and false promises. This is what we really need the creativity or the expertise of our young people. So through education, campaigns, and peer-to-peer outreach, they help protect others and inspire change. You will hear their sharing later on. So each of you, I think you have your own experience how really to collaborate with our network together in order to prevent this human trafficking. Again, our young people, our young leaders are not just participants. They are leaders and partners in this mission. They show us that the young people are not only the future, they are making a difference. I can really manifest that. I can testify that these young people really beyond what your expectation, but they're really leading us way in this fight. So at the same time, again, I would like to also recognize of our advocates. This is the empowering of survivors. This empowerment of survivors is essential in our work. Survivors need more than protection. They need support and understanding the opportunities to rebuild their lives. I think we will hear from our collaborators, especially the Pauline Juma and her team later on. So they will be our main speaker for today. So empower means listening to the survivors, respecting their experiences, and helping them regain confidence, independence, and of course, hope. Survivors are strong and resilient. They are capable of leading change. And I do believe that we will learn from this conversation, this initiative online from their expertise. Pauline has gone really to empower the survivors in her, of course, in her team. So we look forward to hear from them. And of course, we will hear from our young people from their own experience. So again, prevention works best when we work together, when solutions are rooted in the real communities. And we can only attest that through our own experience, through our sharing our best practices, and when those most affected are part of this response. And I do believe for this conversation with the young leaders, we can really regain our effort really to end this human trafficking. As Nana said, today is a special celebration as we began this week of International Day of Prayer and Awareness Against Human Trafficking. We also celebrate the leadership of young people, the courage of survivors, and the commitment of everyone who support this mission. Again, I'd like to also to send the greetings from our Holy Father, Pope Leo, as today we met him, thanking everybody who really works to fight this trafficking. And again, we really thank also our Holy Father for this support. And through all of you, thank you for being part of this journey and for helping to build this future free from human trafficking. Welcome and thank you. Look forward for this session.
Thank you, Sister Abby, for your words. Now let's put our minds and hearts in the presence of the Lord for the opening prayer.
Heavenly Father, we came together today as young people who want to make a difference. We ask you to open our hearts and guide our thoughts as we stand against human trafficking.
Lord, we pray for all those who have been hurt, silenced, or treated unfairly. Protect them, comfort them, and remind them that they are never alone and never forgotten.
Give us courage to speak up when something is wrong, wisdom to make good choices, and compassion to care for others the way you call us to.
Help us be a generation that chooses justice, kindness, and love. Use our voices, our actions, and our faith to bring hope and freedom to the world.
We place this time in your hands and trust you to lead us. Amen.
Thank you to Wells of Hope Jordan and the youth people who led us in prayer. We will now move into the main part of our meeting. We are going to hear about 5 initiatives from 3 different continents, all led or inspired by the young people. These experiences can inspire us and show concrete ways of acting against human trafficking in different contexts. First, we will learn about Rebirth of the Queen, a survival led, community based, and community owned organization in Kenya. This initiative works to empower survivors of gender-based violence and human trafficking, offering them support, dignity, and a path towards healing and independence. Unfortunately, the founder, Pauline Akiniyuma, is not able to connect with us today. Instead, we will watch a short video from her. After the video, two members of her team, Elizabeth and Simeon, will introduce themselves and share more about the work of Rebirth of the Queen. Let us now watch the video from 2022, in which Pauline introduced herself, explaining the foundations of Rebirth of the Queen, and addressed a message directly to survivors.
So my name is Pauline Juma. I am from Kenya. I am a storyteller, and I am an activist against gender-based violence, especially affecting teenage survivors of sexual violence, teenage mothers, and children who are affected with abuse, child marriage, femicide, FGM, and also I am just starting to advocate against human trafficking in Kenya. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, Pauline, I'd say I've been able to see your work and see what you do. Now, I would love even our viewers to hear what inspires you to wake up in the morning and do what you do on a daily basis.
So I would just say that I run an organization, Rebirth of a Queen. And Rebirth of a Queen is actually the first. It's a very personal name to me because it actually tells me that every day when you wake up, it's like a rebirth of your life. You know, you wake up, you pray, you tell God that this day, when we pray, we tell God, give us our daily bread. So I keep telling God every morning, give me my daily grace, because if I don't have that grace, I wouldn't even actually wake up to go look at the survivors that I serve, because it's heavy, sometimes it's painful, but we keep going because of that daily grace that I get every day. And what inspires me, especially the last 3 years, it's that I have a bigger picture of survivors being magistrates in this country, of them being lawyers, of them being doctors, of them being pilots. That's just bigger picture that I have, that one day we are going to form a community of survivors who are actually in the policy space and the decision-making space is what keeps me going. And my own story, being a survivor of sexual violence as a child and domestic violence in an early marriage as a teenager, I really do not ever wish someone to go through that. Yeah.
Your story is an inspiration to someone, and probably one of these days they're going to view this video. What inspiration message will you give out to survivors and victims of trafficking, as well as those of the
I would say most of the time, this is what survivors don't hear. You're beautiful, you're amazing, you're confident, and you can do anything as long as you set your mind to do it. Keep telling your story, tell it in an authentic way, and do not allow anyone to actually tell you how to tell your story. Don't allow anyone to be part of your, don't allow actually anyone who destroyed you to be part of your healing journey. You deserve healing, you deserve love, you deserve all the support, and we have a lot of people supporting you. You just need to open up your eyes and see the world that loves you. Keep telling.
My name is Pauline Juma, the Executive Director, Rebirth of a Queen organization, a community-based organization in Kenya supporting survivors of sexual violence and human trafficking in Kenya and in East Africa. In 2024, in partnership and with the support of the Talitha Kum, Walking in Dignity app, we were able to support our shelter and renovate our shelter where girls and young women are rescued and supported. Hello, good people. My name is Pauline Akinyi Juma from Kenya, the Executive Director and founder, Rebirth of a Queen organization. We run a shelter in Kenya, and this year has been a tough year for Rebirth of a Queen, from moving from one shelter to another, our shelter being attacked. And this year, we are resource mobilizing for a skills training center, a very important aspect for the reintegration of survivors of sexual violence and human trafficking. Apart from just offering a shelter and the basic needs, this year we are growing bigger and offering skills to the young women and the young people that we support and rescue specifically from the shelter, and those who have gone through sexual violence and human trafficking. And we're calling upon your support as you walk in dignity, as you support Rebirth of a Queen, raise resources. We are all ending human trafficking in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pauline, from even if it's offline. So now we are going to give the word to Elizabeth and Simeon. Hello, Simona. I can see you talking, but can you turn on your microphone, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I was unable to unmute. Okay, my name is Simon Shitabule, and I'm the Safeguarding and Child Protection Lead at Rebirth of a Queen. This is such an amazing platform for us, especially as Rebirth of a Queen. I know you have been expecting Pauline, but there was challenges with the family, but it's okay. I will just say it. So before I start, I'm always inspired by the story of Saint Bakita. It's really a story of resilience, and it's a story that that keeps us going as an organization, because when we were very young, we used to see the video, and it was really inspiring, and it brings resilience. And that is what each survivor needs to hear, because even though you go through a lot of challenges, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So I joined Rebirth of a Queen when it started back in the year 2019, and it has been a journey of difficulties, and a journey, because when we do this work, it has a lot of challenges. So all that time, we were only relying on what we can afford and supporting the survivors at our shelter, and moving from one area to another, from one shelter to another, because of fear of retaliation from the perpetrators. But I can say we have really grown up. We have really grown as an organization, and we continue learning on how we can continue surviving, helping the survivors in the line of work that we do. So when I talk about human trafficking, people just see it as moving from one country to another, or maybe it must be maybe international or something. But a lot is happening at within the country, maybe moving from one county to another, moving from one state to another. So maybe especially for domestic work. Here in Kenya, you find like one is moved from one county to another, but people don't know it's still considered as trafficking. So like what we do as Rebirth of a Queen is to identify and to rescue survivors who have gone through that. But what really we sat down as an organization and so like we can really help a survivor to have a home, where a place to live for maybe few months, 1 year, but that doesn't help. A survivor needs empowerment. A survivor needs healing, but you cannot measure a time of which a survivor can heal. So as Rebirth of a Queen, we saw that what is the main challenge that moves that a survivor moving from one county to another and not able to help themselves. We saw that there's a need for empowerment. And how do we empower them? We empower them through economic empowerment. As Rebirth of a Queen, you have seen at the video, we do a lot of empowerment when it comes to voice agency, giving them hands-on skills, because when we reintegrate them back to the society, they are able to stand for themselves. And we encourage them that to continue preaching the people to stop human trafficking, especially even within. You can use your platform, you can use your Twitter, you can use Facebook, everywhere. We just encourage them to spread. We use a tactic called butterfly effect, whereby when we train you or on maybe as an advocate of stopping human trafficking, we again tell you to go and teach others or encourage others, because so that this like a lot of people to know, because people don't know still, because you find like where we are in Kajiado County in Kenya, it's a bit remote, and there are some people who are unable to get the information. So what we do mostly is we go to them, we have a talk with them, because people from the city, they come to the village and they promise the family that the girls are going to have a good life, but you find them being taken to do domestic work and everything like that. So as Rebirth of a Queen, we encourage empowerment. If you empower one survivor, that survivor can empower another, and we find like the message goes further and further. So that's what we do mostly. I believe Elizabeth can add something on that. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Akinyi from Rebirth of a Queen. I'm in gender department, and also being a young person here at Rebirth of a Queen. I came in the year 2022. This is my 4th year here, and it has been a journey. Maybe I can do an introduction for Rebirth of a Queen. Rebirth of a Queen is a community-based organization which started in the year 2019 by Pauline Akinyi Juma, who is the founder. Pauline Akinyi Juma started it in Nairobi, Kibra, and when she had to make sure all the survivors are safe. So we had to come up with a safe house, because we believe in protection also for our survivors, whereby they are catered for. And she had to move from Kibra to Kajiado County for their safety, because we believe safety comes first. And now we are in Kajiado, Kenya. So Pauline Akinyi Juma, after rescuing, because in Rebirth of a Queen, we have 3 programs. One program is called Elimisha program, which is mostly on education, whereby we take our survivors back to basic education. And also we have now young people economic empowerment, whereby we offer the survivor the skills so that when they get the skills, they are able to get a job and also sustain themselves, and they don't have to go back to the community where their dignity will be defiled again. So we had to come up with the empowerment skills training, where we offer photography, we offer fashion and design, we have computer classes, we have leather work. I believe if you go to our pages, you can see like we have products like bags and everything. We have branding and graphics, which only take like 4 months for the survivors to graduate. Then we look for job opportunities for them. And also, me being in a gender department, I also work closely with the community by creating awareness, one-on-one talks with the community. And also one way where we were able to create awareness is through the dignity walk, whereby sometimes every Friday as Rebirth of a Queen organization, we go there, we take like maybe 15 kilometers, 7 kilometers, depending. So through that, it has enabled us to also create awareness of human trafficking here in Kenya. And also we have been able to get more partners who are able to collaborate with us, and also the community support, whereby they can also, when they see this, they can report it. And also, I believe like in the shelter, we also have whereby we offer protection and empowering, like restoring emotional being, building confidence, strengthening economic independence, supporting long-term integration into the community. And until now, we have been able to, we work both in community also, until now we have been able to empower 1,000 survivors. Yes.
Thank you, Elizabeth and Simeon, and thank you again for all that has been shared. It is powerful to hear how Rebirth of the Queen walks along survivals with dignity, care, and hope. Now we travel to Asia to listen to two young leaders who are committed young ambassadors against human trafficking, Crystal from Japan and Cheryl from Pakistan. Crystal is originally from Indonesia, but is part of Talitha Kum's Japan. She works in the IT field, supporting global clients, and at the same time, she is deeply engaged in Talitha Kum Japan. She is passionate about raising awareness among her peers and bringing the issues of Talitha Kum, of the issues of trafficking in everyday conversation. On the other hand, we have Shirley, who lives in Hyderabad and holds a Doctor of Pharmacy degree. She works as a lecturer and regularly gives lessons in nursing institutes, high schools, and youth groups on healthcare and human rights. She joined Talitha Kum in 2024 and completed the Youth Ambassador training last year after the invitation of her national coordinator. Since then, she has been actively raising awareness on human trafficking in her community and is very involved with the Talitha Kum Asia. Let us now listen to the testimonies. I give the floor to Crystal.
Hello everyone. Earlier we had the opportunity to listen to a testimony or sharing by the team of the Birth of the Queen, especially Pauline, who I had the chance to meet and call my friend when I visited Rome last year as a Asia Youth representative. Nothing beats listening to a story from the mouth of the survivor, but I would like to use these next 4.5 minutes to talk about my experience as a volunteer who is constantly inspired by people like Pauline and shaped by walking alongside this mission. My name is Crystal Eileen, and I'm one of the youth ambassadors representing Asia, together with another youth ambassador from Pakistan, my friend Cheryl. I grew up in Indonesia, in a safe and loving environment, Human trafficking was something I heard about growing up, on the news, in school topics, but it always felt distant. Something that happened somewhere else, to other people. I didn't realize how close it would be. A few years later, I moved to Tokyo. Everything felt advanced, organized, and secure. From the outside, it looked like a place where serious exploitation shouldn't exist. But through Talitha Kum Youth, my eyes were opened, not through statistics, but through stories. I learned that human trafficking happens in Japan too, to Japanese people, and to foreigners who come here to work or study. It became real because I could see my fellow Indonesians and people from Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar, and across Southeast Asia having their dignity taken from them. It hit much closer than I expected. When I said yes to being a youth ambassador, this is where the journey really began. In my local context in Japan, we started very small, just the three of us. We visited churches and schools, beginning with children and now reaching universities, sharing one simple truth. Human trafficking happens even here. Today, our group has grown to 10 to 15 youth ambassadors, supported by sisters who walk beside us, guide us, and help us every step of the way. Experiences like the one I had in Rome last year as a Talitha Kum youth ambassador, the people I met from different cultures, different stories, but the same commitment. For sure, my friends who experienced not the similar moments like this too. I'm sure my friends in Rome will experience this, but basically these moments will remind you that the heart of Talitha Kum, to walk with the survivors, to listen, and to never look away. And this is only one part of my story. And honestly, I'm still learning. But one thing Talitha Kum Youth has taught me is this. Sometimes, choosing to notice and choosing not to look away is already the beginning of the change. Thank you. I'm going to pass it to Cheryl with the video.
Hello everyone, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Cheryl Sarah and I am located at Hyderabad, Pakistan. I'm working in educational department and got known Talitha Kum in 2024, attended few meetings with Sister Catherine and got more involved in 2025, completed my training with Sister Paula as a youth ambassador, and now I'm working in as a youth ambassador of Talitha Kum in Pakistan, raising awareness and arranging meetings and helping our coordinator in raising awareness. So as a Pakistani, if I talk about Pakistan, Pakistan is so beautiful country and it's known for its stunning diverse landscapes, that northern areas famous for the hospitality and for its delicious food, and but there is a dark reality that smuggling of people and lots of crime also exist. So I highlight the situation that most people trapped from every region in Pakistan and from Sindh, from Punjab. This situation is so much in number in every district and in every region and in every province. That is bounded labor. I have created one video that you will see that how people got trapped and how they suffer from generation to generation. Thank you. Please have a look on video.
Bonded labor is a form of modern-day slavery where people are forced to work to pay off debts. This is a violation of fundamental human rights. Pakistan is the third largest producer of bricks in South Asia, with most kilns situated in Punjab. Sadly, a large percentage of brick kiln laborers are trapped in debt bondage. Often, high interest rates make these loans impossible to pay off, and laborers become trapped in a cycle of debt that can pass on from generation to generation. The NCHR team met with a family of freed bonded laborers and interviewed them. The family was trapped in bonded labor for 30 years. They worked long days in the scorching heat at a brick kiln, only to make 1100 Pakistani rupees a day, 300 of which were deducted as peshgi. This is only $2.75 a day.
If there was any medical expense, or if we had to pay for a wedding, we became targets of debt. We worked at the kiln to pay off the debt in any way we could. The kiln owners could make us do any kind of work, and we were helpless, so we kept doing it.
At the mercy of kiln owners, bonded laborers suffer through poor living and working conditions.
If they told us to make 1,000 bricks, we would not get paid until each brick was made. We did not have access to adequate food, clean water, or proper clothing. The children used to work with me. We could not afford to send them to school.
Now, free from the shackles of bonded labor, the family has hopes and dreams for the future of their children. A local pastor assisted the family in gaining freedom. In the 30 years that the family spent in bonded labor, labor court officers visited their place of work twice. In another heartbreaking story, Imran Masih, now freed from bonded labor, describes how he inherited his father's debt.
How long were you trapped? Imran Masih, 32 years.
His total debt was only 130,000 Pakistani rupees, which is approximately $450.
The work was very difficult. Even if we were sick, we had to keep working to complete brick orders. The orders could be 6,000 to 8,000 bricks. They deduct peshgi out of salary. They deduct as much as they want, and there is no fixed amount.
In the fight against bonded labor in Pakistan, we must take decisive steps to uplift the oppressed and marginalized workers. By implementing a series of crucial measures, we can forge a path towards a future free from the shackles of bonded labor. Improve access to justice for bonded laborers. Increase the incomes of laborers in fields where exploitation is prevalent. NCHR interviewed a family that was trapped in bonded labor for 30 years under a debt of only $450. Increase capacity of union and labor associations who play a crucial role in protecting workers' rights. Promote the use of automated machinery through tax reductions to reduce reliance on bonded labor. Data collection are essential in protecting vulnerable communities like brick kiln laborers. NADRA should actively register and issue CNICs to rural workers. Children must not be permitted to work in brick kilns, safeguarding their right to education and a childhood free from exploitation. Further recommendations are included in NCHR's report regarding bonded labor.
So my motivation is to work and end human trafficking, to help people who are in suffering. Once during my schooling, a massive flood hits at our district, Hyderabad, and then we visit victims that arranged by our school, and there I saw suffering, that how people suffer, and I realized and I learned that We should help people who are in really difficult situation or facing a hard time, and and people who really suffer for any difficulty. So if we have strength, so we should help others to overcome the situation and to overcome their suffering. And I am so blessed that I got member of Talitha Kum, and this is so empowering and so inspiration that how Talitha Kum work in different countries to save people and to raise awareness against human trafficking. And my mission is to take a stand against the exploitation of vulnerable individuals, raise awareness of human trafficking cases across the country, and to educate the public.
Thank you, Crystal, and thank you, Dr. Cheryl, for your powerful testimonies. What you have shared reminds us that awareness and community engagement are essential tools in the fight against human trafficking. We now move to Africa and Latin America. We will hear two video testimonies from Enma in Peru and Claude in Burundi. We will then hear from Enma, who is the community program coordinator of Fusia, Living Without Fear, Living Without Violence, a local organization based in Trujillo, Peru. Enma collaborates closely with Red Kawasai, our Talitha Kum network in Peru, and leads awareness sessions on human trafficking and gender-based violence with young and children in her community. Claude Buruk is a Talitha Kum member based in Bujumbura, Burundi. He's a survivor of trafficking and has courageously agreed to share his story with us today. He's currently pursuing a master's degree in social science, and last November he represented youth ambassadors at the Regional Assembly of Talitha Kum Africa. He had also been invited to come to Rome this year, but unfortunately his visa was not approved this time. We are very grateful for his presence with us today and for his willingness to speak. I give the voice now to Enma.
Hello, my name is Suma Valverde and I am part of Red Causa Peru. As part of this network, we carry out workshops and prevention activities to fight against human trafficking. At least this is what I have witnessed personally. Peru is a precious, beautiful place full of wonderful landscapes and much hope, but there is also a lot of indifference as for the issue of human trafficking. Peru is crossed by the Andes Mountains, and we also have the jungle and the coast. In each region, there are different types of trafficking that have a higher incidence. In my region, what I have seen the most is sexual and labor exploitation. However, with our work we've been doing with Red Causa Peru, we've seen that many more types of exploitation exist in the country. Some of them I thought they weren't even possible in this day, and this is why prevention is so important, because people don't talk about it, and the approach as for human trafficking should be an approach based on our community. We cannot fight this alone, and it's not just an issue related to religious organizations, or it is not a problem that belongs only to the state. What motivates me, it was always a dream of mine to work in social issues, because I come from a family that has always believed in caring, protecting, and serving as a way of manifesting our faith. Thanks to them, I've always believed that this is how you should grow in life. That's why I started working on a social project and I saw the issue of violence very close to me. And this is what I say when I talk about why I work in this field and why trafficking matters so much to me. I feel that I see God during police operations, when we meet victims, survivors. I see God every time we help. We see God. The project I had in my hand at first was a project I had to cooperate with many specialists on, and it is very complicated when you try to help people escape from sexual exploitation. I remember when I met and I saw the people I was accompanying for the first time, they looked like walking bodies, like living dead. I truly thought nothing could help them until I met the Sisters of Redemption. I spent time with them and I saw how they helped the survivors. And I saw them becoming people again. I realized that you have to fight, and to fight you need God. God is not enough, of course. You need to work also in terms of dignity, life, hope, and this is also the work of God. And the Sisters of Redemption helped me very much. They introduced me to Red Cosa Peru, and then I reached Talitha Kum, and I'm very happy to be part of this network and to know that we are not alone. One of the great challenges of being young in the fight against trafficking is indifference, of course. I know we have all felt that way, feeling like you are doing so little and the problem is so big. But knowing that we are part of our community, knowing that we are fighting against trafficking all together, knowing that we all think the same way, this is crucial. We know that we have a place to lean on, and we know that others are doing our same work, that they are restoring our faith. And finally, for me, faith is serving, faith is caring, faith is protecting, and not letting anyone feel alone. That is why I do what I do. My biggest dream is for the day to come when these are just stories, something that only happened in the past, and trafficking is just a subject to study because it no longer occurs. This is my dream. My dream is to build a better world for those who come after us and to be a support to hug all those who suffer because of these problems. I wish you very much hope and tenderness to endure those moments when you feel you are not doing enough. Truly, sometimes just smiling is enough. When you smile to someone who is sad, when you talk about something that can help, you are helping already. Thank you very much.
Bonjour à toutes et à chacun. Je m'appelle beaucoup Claude. Je suis étudiant.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. My name is Claude Bukul. I'm a master's student at the University of Burundi. I'm a young person committed to fighting human trafficking. Today, I share with you my testimony as the living one who was saved by Talitha Kum. First, the phenomenon of trafficking in human trafficking is a widespread phenomenon in Burundi, East Africa, Africa, and in the world in general. In Burundi, as shown by the US Department of State in its 2025 report, 1,186 victims have been identified in Burundi, exploited in various forms of trafficking, including sexual exploitation, exploitation in child construction sites, as well as exploitation in various forced labors. This is noticeable in both internal and external trafficking. For external trafficking in Burundi, we mainly see girls, women, and young people who go to the Saudi Arabia, especially, where they suffer serious, terrifying exploitation. Above all, it is noted that this is caused by economic vulnerability, especially unemployment, and the lack of work opportunities for young people, which aggravates the phenomenon of trafficking in Burundi, East Africa, as well as throughout the world. As a result, different forms of trafficking are manifesting themselves in Burundi. We note particularly the forced labor, sexual exploitation, access to the big cities, where we see minors, children exploited in various construction sites, as well as little girls who are exploited in households where they do not even receive their wages. This shows us that the phenomenon in Africa is a sad reality, whether in Burundi or in the region, in Africa and in the world in general. That's why we cannot stay still. That is why, as young people engaged against human trafficking, we think, first of all, of awareness initiatives, bringing awareness to other young people on the various forms of human trafficking, different means, the concrete means, the platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, that recruit young people. Let's listen now to the testimony of Claude. So regarding my testimony, it was in 2023. I finished my studies, the first cycle at the University of Burundi, but I had this vision that one day I will work abroad, because I saw that in our country there was no continuity. Even if we finished our studies, so I gave myself one principle. I said, whether it snows or it rains, I need to go look for work. But my dream was not realized, couldn't realize it. So one day, I went to my cousin, and they told me that there's an association that is engaging people, that is employing people to work in different countries. And then he gave me the contact of one person in that organization. So I reached out to that person, and when I reached her, she asked me to give her 300,000 before she take me to the association. So I explained everything to my family, and my family gave me this amount, and then I gave it to her. So when we arrived to the association, the general manager and his staff welcomed us. We asked for information, and they told us that we needed to pay a registration fee, and the fee in total we paid 235,000. And then after a few days of training, I approached the CEO, the general manager, who he called himself the CEO, so to ask him for a lot of information. But this manager told me that I had to pay 1,500,000 to have access to the employment contract. I got that amount and I gave it to him, and I asked him, when would I be traveling? He told me, you will be traveling in 2 weeks. So the 2 weeks have passed, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. We didn't even get training certificates, while it was planned that we would have the certificates after 3 months of training. I saw on national television a group already arrested by the police, accused of transporting people illegally to strange countries. After a few months, I decided to return to my village. And I contacted the woman, and she said to me that I had to pay 250,000 francs as an upfront, and also to pay for the ticket to go from Bujumbura to Nairobi, because, it was forbidden at the time to travel to the Gulf countries at our airport. So we needed to pass through other countries, and that is why this perpetrator, this trafficker, convinced us that we will be doing well in Nairobi, and we will be held there. Each one of us will have his own room. We will have plenty of food while waiting for the visa to go either to Kuwait or to Lebanon. It was so it was good to. In Nairobi, we understood that it's the contrary. So I paid the advance travel, and I took the bus on Friday and arrived to Nairobi on Sunday at 4:30. But they sent someone to take me, and when I got to where the group was, what I really found was scandalous. I was in a group of 25 people, including 21 men and 4 women. And in this apartment, 2 bedrooms and 1 small room. So 1 room was for the women, and we shared as 21 men the other room. And really, we suffered the worst exploitation, because we ate only once every 3 days. And this is thanks to the help of our families who were in Burundi. The first day we arrived to where we lived, they started collecting our passports. And then after collecting our passports, they told us that first it was to bring them to the embassy so they could give us the visas. And it was rather the way to take us in his hands, because he even asked us for 2,000 Kenyan shillings to pay, saying that it is to pay to take it to the embassy so that the visa process is quick, when it was only to steal from us again. And then the conditions were really deplorable, because even though there were 25 people, there were 3 people who were allowed to leave. None of us was allowed to go out. So we were stuck in a room in a ventilated state without eating. By divine grace, we got our passports. We sat down to discuss how we could get our passports. So we approached the lady and we asked her to undeceive this trafficker to agree to sleep with him. So we asked her to undeceive his trafficker to agree to sleep with him, and the gentleman agreed. In his hotel, so he was in a hotel, and the lady took the risk. But first, we decided to send 3 among us to accompany her. When the lady arrived to the hotel, the men were behind her. The boys were behind her. When the trafficker, her gentleman, welcomed the lady, the men appeared and we asked him, "You have to give us our passports. We're going to stab you." And this man finally agreed and gave us back our passports. And misfortune never comes alone. The property of the house gave us the last warning that more than 3 days later he will expel us, because the money we gave as a guarantee had already ended. In the group, we had those who were lucky enough to be picked up by the comrades and neighbors in Nairobi, and 5 of us were lucky to have a small occupation in order to have a ticket to return to Bunjabura. Claude was able to contact his religious friend and tell him everything. Then he was put in contact with the sisters of Talitha Kum. Sister Florence arrived where we used to live, and she saw our reality, and then she took us to the center where we were welcomed as kings, because they said to us, "You are saved for the time being. Feel at home. You are saved. You are safe." They gave us rooms, and she gave us plenty of food. The following day, she explained all the process, and they got us also psychologists. They also brought us to people to assist us legally. After a few days, they gave us a ticket to return to Bujumbura. They also gave us the flair for social reintegration. And they told us that they were keeping our numbers because one day they might need us. That was in 2024, When he came back to Burundi, Claude continued his studies and is now active member of Young Ambassadors of Talitha Kum. Every activity that we can lead as youth to save thousands of people, every act we take, every action we take can save lives. And I hope that together we, young brothers and sisters, can live in the world without modern slavery that steals human dignity. And that we be united against human trafficking together. Thank you.
Thank you, Claude and Emma, for your testimonies. What you have shared shows us strength, resilience, and commitment for young people working against human trafficking in very different contexts. We have seen that many of you have asked some questions. We're actually going to discuss about them now. So now it's actually your turn. We will move into different room sessions for different reflection and exchange. We'll send you to different rooms according to your preferred language. So please select your language in the case that you haven't done it yet. In these rooms, we encourage you to speak with one another about what you have heard today and to share good practices from your own context. To guide your conversation, here are two questions. The first one is, what are some anti-trafficking initiatives that you are working on currently or what you would like to work on? The second one is, what opportunities do you see for youth initiatives in your region? So we are going to redirect you to the to the rooms. I hope your discussions were meaningful. So as a quick reminder, interpretation is available in 5 languages. So if you're here in English, please go back to your language. Si están escuchando inglés, por favor, den clic de nuevo para volver al idioma que eligieron. So now we invite you to share a brief reflection on behalf of your group. Please raise your hand with the icon if you want to share something. It can be one person per group. Simon Shitabule.
Thank you very much, Nana. Thank you very much, Nana. It has been an amazing conversation with Sister Josefina from Peru. Yeah, and I really love the work that she's doing to support survivors and going to schools and sharing a lot about human trafficking. And even we discuss what we do at Rebirth of a Queen. Actually, I was amazed because she said she's retiring and she's 90 years old. And I was really amazed with the passion she has. And she said again she was inspired by Saint Bridget Pakita, of which me too, I'm always inspired by her story. Actually, Josefina shared about the story of Bakita, of which it's a really amazing story of resilience. She undergone a lot of suffering, but in the end, she's now in a good place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simon, for sharing. Someone else from another group that would like to share? Yes, Blanca.
Hello, good morning. In our team, We pondered the first question as for new initiatives to continue with our projects with the youth. We want to work all together. We want to cooperate in schools, in churches, in communities. We want to work hand in hand, and we said that we can work also using music, culture, and different opportunities on the ground. It is very important to promote activities so that the youth can include more young people on the ground. It is very important to use language and music to express our souls. It is an opportunity we have that we shall leverage, and we are very thankful to Talitha Kum and to all coordinators. Thank you for all projects. We hope to have much more projects to reach every person in the world. Thank you very much, Blanca.
Community is basically our foundation. Thank you so much for your comment. I see Sister Marie Seine.
Marie-Reine.
Marie-Reine, sí.
Sí. Merci, bonsoir à tous.
Good evening.
Moi, dans mon groupe, nous étions 3.
We were 3 in the group,
Nous sommes dans le
and we shared a bit about awareness in the schools, in the churches, to try together to inform on the phenomenon of human trafficking. Maybe so we had cases to manage, case across borders. We had to collaborate with the counselor services, Talitha Kum in Syria. So what we can do is work that our youth can be engaged in on social network. So a presence on social network to promote and invite others, bring awareness, share information on trafficking, because it is in our country, but also in the world, in our region, because in our region, in Africa, we have all kinds of exploitation, human trafficking, abuse. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sister. Someone else would like to share? Agnese,
Hello, hi
yes.
everyone. Yeah. I am Agnese from Sicily, Italy, and I've been in the Italian sharing breaking rooms with wonderful Franciscan sisters that they are from Indonesia, but they are doing their mission in San Basilio, working with the children at the oratorio and praying with the elderly in the parish, and also helping poor people who need basic needs like clothes, foods, medicines, etc. And we also shared about our passion for ending human trafficking, especially for women who are along the streets in a situation of exploitation, sexual abuse, etc. And for the activity that I'm doing this period, it's that I'm helping Talitha Kum through awareness in social networks, and also using the Walking Dignity app that is very useful, because while you are working, then your steps becomes donation for Talitha Kum, and you learn improve your awareness. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. And thank you to the Franciscan sisters, because I have a very beautiful breaking room.
Thank you so much, Anise. Yeah, it's really amazing, and thank you also for promoting the ad. It's a very good way to learn about the cases of human trafficking and what we're working on. I see the hand of Parfait. Parfait. If not, I'm going to read a comment.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Parfait.
Okay, Perfect, you can start.
Okay. We were four in our group, but we were two to speak to a change about the topic. I were with Sister Laura from Malawi. To act, we plan to work with people, especially young people, because we thought they are on our responsibilities. And we have to work with them. And this webinar is an opportunity for us to share our point. We plan to invite young people to join Talitha Kum, to encourage them to act to fight against trafficking. We plan to speak with parents and inform them about the danger which represent the trafficking and the traffickers, and invite them to stand up against this danger. We plan to go to the college and the high school to talk to the student about the trafficking and to be careful about this. Thank you.
Amazing job. Thank you so much for sharing. Someone else that would like to share what they were discussing in the group? I see the name Andrew Constantine from Caritas.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Andrew, and I will be representing the English group. We have 4 people in there: Cheryl, Sister Nakoma, and Sichinga Christopher. But I will just make a summary about our discussion. And I was very inspired with all of them because of their initiative to fight against human trafficking. So I think from our discussion, we all agree that the best way we can do to fight human trafficking is by educate each other and raising the awareness about the dangers of that matters, and also the alternative way to, because this issue isn't our, I mean, we have limitation to respond to this issue. So the best way we can do is also make a network, and then we could advocate it to the government, so they could taking the responsible to respond to the human trafficking issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Yes, that's right. We have to work together and yeah, also involve the authorities because and they are the ones representing us and the ones that can make a big change. Someone else that would like to share? Well, meanwhile, while you're getting the courage to speak here, I'm going to read a comment here. It says, currently in Ethiopia, we are giving awareness for unemployment young boys
Hello.
and girls. Regarding this, we could see very important feedback from the youths that awareness was very important and be able could able know the negative impact of human traffickers. So the solution is as follows regarding to our experience. Start a business in this area. This keeps them not expose themselves to traffickers. Nice idea. Vocation training, woodwork, metalwork, housekeeping training, driving if they aware on this trainees they can help themselves and or they can able to work abroad legally with their full right and dignity. Thank you so much for your comment. Yes, I saw that someone was speaking, I think.
Hello.
Hello, Bernardo. Go ahead.
Yeah. Posso falar português?
Can I speak Portuguese?
Ah. Eu sou irmão Bernardo,
I'm
SPD,
brother Fernando, SVD.
Timor-Leste.
I'm from East Timor.
Eu trabalhei em Moçambique
And
13 anos.
I have been working in Mozambique for almost 13 years, and I was transferred to East Timor some time ago. And with my experience in Mozambique, while human trafficking in East Timor is also a huge thing, unfortunately. However, Talitha Kum in East Timor is doing a lot of work, but our team is not very strong yet, so we need more formation. Because as I see it, the youth we had went to 4 countries, New Zealand, Korea, and England. And in Korea, we know that those people died. Why did they die? We don't know yet. But here, domestic and international human trafficking is very present. So we must raise awareness among the youth and also in the community in order to understand and know the reasons that are behind human trafficking in our areas, and especially in rural areas. Therefore, we think that we need to see more effort provided and shown by Talitha Kum in order to help the youth. And we also need to work together with the diocese in order to really provide this formation. This is the observation that I can offer you after these 13 years here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who shared. Your reflection shows how deeply this issue touches different realities and also how important it is to continue acting together. Now, I would like to extend a warm thank for all of our speakers, Pauline, Elizabeth, Simeon, Sherry, Crystal, Claude, and Emma, for the courage, commitment, and generosity for sharing their experiences with us today. Thank you also to our interpreters for making this meeting accessible to so many people, and to our technical team for their support behind the scenes. To conclude our gathering, we will now watch the closing prayer offered by the youth group from Wells of Hope in Jordan. Let us receive with open hearts.
Dear God, please help the people who are trapped and scared. Protect them and bring them freedom.
Hold close everyone who has been hurt. Heal their hearts and help them feel safe again.
Help us care more. Help us speak up. And help us never look away.
Use our hearts and our voices to help stop human trafficking in the world. Amen.
Thank you so much. Sister Abby, would you like to finish the meeting, please?
Thank you. I was going to write my message, but I really
from the bottom of my heart, I was so impressed, inspired for your initiative, especially, for your sharing. I was so deeply moved. I'm sure many of you who attended this session was also inspired from our speakers, from our young leaders, their initiative, their experience, their sharing that was powerful. I hope for some of you, you're being inspired, especially young people, no matter how small what we do, but always counts. But I thank you for a small session. I also thank for the organizer, especially Nana. Emma is always behind the screen, but she really worked hard. And so her team, Sister Myra, Rize, and Opals, the Marion, my team, Gianluca, all the technical support that the U.S. is being given us. So thank you so much for our partners organization as well, Caritas that's being with us, Francesca Donna from the Castery, and many more. I cannot see you because I cannot, but of course I would like also to thank our coordinators of Talitha Kum who's been supported these young people. Without you, we weren't able to do this. So thank you again for the initiative of young people. Let's continue our journey. This is only the initiative of this week campaign. Please join us in prayers. I'm looking forward to see you all again for our online meeting. It's gonna be on Friday. Muchas gracias, gracias, obrigada, arigato. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nana.
Thank you, Sister Abby.
Gracias,
Maraming
Nana.
salamat po. Thank you, Sister
Thank
Abby.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, youth ambassadors.
Thank you.
Make me young again.
Terima kasih.
Marie.